Welcome to Road to 10K Gems, a free to-play challenge in MTG Arena where the goal is to reach 10,000 gems without spending any real money. Will we make it? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this is going to be one heck of a ride. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you want to join me on this journey, then hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. Let the journey begin.
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Awesome, and this is the beginning of an epic quest. The goal will be to reach 10,000 gems in MTG Arena. The hard mode of it all will be to do it fully free to play. So no credit cards, no bundles, probably no mastery pass unless bought by in-game gems, and no real money at all involved in this process. So just pure gameplay, mostly smart decisions, a little bit of grind, and a lot of luck. So the idea is pretty simple. We will start a brand new MTG account and document the pass from 0 to 10k gems without involving any real money. So just farming. This series will be for anyone that wants to enjoy Arena without paying and still compete and grow their collection. We'll try to reach that goal. So every time you start a new account, you will be introduced to the tutorial. I will speed up the process a bit. The tutorial itself is pretty simple, just predetermined plays that will showcase the basics of the game and will teach you what to do and when to do it. Afterwards, you get 5 matches that will showcase different aspects of the game, which will be useful for those that are new to the game. But it's a bit of a slow process for those that already know. You can actually skip it, which is a bit annoying. But I will pass it because it might be a bit boring for most people. The new players will have to pass the tutorial itself, so you will be able to see everything the tutorial has to offer. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So at the final boss you get Bolas, and once you kill it, the tutorial ends and you actually start the game. Every time you start the game, every fight you have will give you rewards, and the final one will give you 5 one-color decks, which are the pretty basics of the game. And then you actually enter Arena, and once you enter, you get a couple of rewards. In this case, it's mostly a few card backs that you can set as default. Get a 2k gold, which is always nice. And you get the list of banned cards that are allowed to play. In this case, they specify the type of game you can play in this time standard. And so you can't play, for instance, Line of Resonance in standard anymore. 1.2 to make that can be helpful for some is that if you know the card is going to be banned, you can buy it with wildcards, which I will explain later on. And once it's banned, you get the gems back. So basically trade the wildcards for gems, which is nice. So the rest of the gameplays So in this case, historic cards that are banned, and then alchemy cards. So every mode of the game has different. Some might be the same, but mostly are different kind of bans. Then you get the 3 packs of the current season, a set season, and the basics of card packs and whatnot. You also get a couple of decks, not a couple, still a few, in order to begin playing the game. This one are free. They're from the basic set, the latest basic set, in this case, Foundations. And you usually color pairs. Each color pair does usually something different, so it's interesting to have. So yeah, it's the basic. Then you get the packs from previous seasons, previous sets, seasons for some reason. The previous sets mostly give at least all of them give 3 packs, but some give lands from that set as well, which is nice for those that like to collect lands. Before we had to use the codes from each season and then hope they wouldn't expire by the time we actually redeem them. But now the game all gives you the packs without having to place the codes, which is pretty nice. Does help out a bit. There are quite a few, which are nice to make early decks and start actually playing in order to farm the gold that we need to reach the 10,000 gems that we've set as goal. Clicking everything, it's not easy. Missing a bit, but it's the same. So there are 2 types. There are the main set, and then there's the alchemy set. Anthology is a part of the old sets that can be played in standard. Usually the alchemy ones don't give lands. The basic set does give lands from that set. Here you can see the basics of the game. So it explains mostly what you need as a basic besides the tutorial. So if you need help with some mechanic or some issue with the game, there are a couple of formats to play. So there's constructed, limited, precons, and jump in. Jump in is a kind of limited, so it's important to note. Constructed is mostly when you build your deck and then play with that deck. Limited is mostly you get cards and then build a deck in order to play with it. But it's not, for instance, in constructed you usually get 4 of each card. In limited you can have more, and it's more random, the cards you do and the synergy you can create. In constructed you can build a type of deck and just use it. In limited it's a little bit different, but at the same time it's more fair in my opinion, because everyone starts from scratch, and then it's mostly the skill of building a deck that actually makes it different, and then the playing out that deck. There's quick draft, which is against the bot. Sealed, which is 6 packs and then create a deck. And then premier draft, that is the most expensive one, against players, where you pass boosters and select a card every time to build a deck. So it's more precise than sealed, because sealed you have all the cards you can get right away and then build deck based on the cards you have. While in Premier Draft you will build along the draft itself. So you can choose the cards you want, like, but it's mostly the ideas between of these formats. So there's a quick explanation here. Jump in, it's also a kind of limited, because you are given two half decks, and then it mixes up and creates a new deck that you can play against other people with that sort of decks. It's also on paper now, but it's a type of limited. Precons are the decks they give you, so the pre-constructed ones that you can start playing with them in order to get acquainted with the archetypes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The jump in is also where we will probably make the first quests, because you get 5 tokens right away when you start an account. So it's free to jump in. And once you get a good deck, you can start collecting the rewards for wins, of course. We will speak about it in a second. But yeah, the main goal of this channel, in order to reach the 10,000 gems, the focus will be mainly limited formats, mostly drafts, because sealed is not that profitable. That's where free-to-play players can actually profit, learn, and build their collection at the same time. I will be playing other modes, but just to farm gold and complete daily quests, but it's mostly dedicated to limited, which is the kind I like to play. So here are the quests. So you have the daily quests that you can change every day once. So one of them, it goes up to 3 quests, and then you can roll it if you have like 500 quests. So you can get a 750 gold reward quest. You get one each day, and you can only roll one of them per day. So usually we'll be playing mostly from 3 to 3 every 3 days in order to maximize the quests. Then you have the daily wins, which are 15 quests. Only the 5 starter ones actually matter, because the first one gives 250 gold and the others give 100 gold, so you can get around 600 gold per day just by winning. You do need 5 or 6 wins, but it is doable. But if you only get like 1 or 2, it's already a nice upgrade and a nice gold farm. This one gives a bit of mastery XP, which are used then for the mastery pass. But yeah, the win is nice. The weekly wins are weekly, and they give XP 10 times more than the daily win. And then you have the mastery pass, which are divided in 2 parts: the free to play and the pay to win. So not pay to win, mostly pay to receive. You get up to 50 levels. After that, it's you don't get anything else. I mean, you get the basic if you pay for it, 3,400 gems. If you're only free to play, you only receive the top line, but if you pay, you get both of them, so top and bottom. It does cost 3.4k, but you do get roughly 1.2k plus 4k gold and still get a token that in essence is worth 1.5 but can go to 2.2 if you win everything. So in theory, if you get 7 wins with the token, you can profit with the mastery pass, so it's not an entire loss. But I would only advise to buy it if you actually reach the end goal. For this one is level 50. They did double the rewards for this one. Usually you only get one pack or 1,000 gold or 300 gems, but in this case most of the stuff are doubled. So it makes it faster to achieve, probably because the set is faster, because the new one is already announced. But yeah, you can, if you get to 50 levels, maybe buy it, and then you might have a profit. At least a 4k gold is a profit, even if you only have the if you get the 7 wins, of course, for the max wins from the token. But still, with the packs and the orbs and the pets and whatnot, you still kind of break even by buying the mastery pass if you get everything. You can also buy the improved version with more levels, but it's a bit of a waste then, because only the 3.4 actually gets even. 5.4 is just to speed up the process, but doesn't actually worth it. And so we have the store. The store, we won't use it, of course. The main pack is 2,500 gems for 5 euros, which does help a bit because you can start drafting right away and make more if you're lucky. But the point of this is not to spend gems, nor even gold for this art. You can buy it afterwards if you want, but at the moment, the only goal will be to get to 10,000 gems the fastest way possible. So instead of buying the gems, we will be playing. The most important ones are the daily deals, because you can get to buy gems here and gold for gold. So you can buy 550 gold for 50 gold, and roughly 300 gems, if I'm not mistaken, for 10 gold or something like that. It's rare, but it does appear from time to time, which is nice. Also lands and stuff that you can buy for art purposes, or collection, but we would not be diving into that in this for now, at least. There's also from time to time a token sale where you can buy it. So to enter a draft, you spend usually either 10k gold or 1.5k gems, and if you buy the token here, it's only 9k gold or 1.4k gems. So it is a bit of a, not profit per se, but a cheaper deal to be able to draft, which might help a bit if we get to get that on one of the days we will be playing. Because like I said, we won't be playing that often, because this is mostly to showcase that you can do it without grinding every day, every hour, for months. This is just normal gameplay. The time that we actually get to 10k gems. So this will also be a challenge in time management. My goal is to play about 1 or 2 hours every 3 days, not more than that. And that way it's sustainable and shows that it's possible for the average player to also reach the goal that we set. So the current set is Final Fantasy, and there's quite a few lots. So the point of these packs is to actually keep them, farm the cards first, and then open the packs once you have the cards, in order to trade. If you already have 4 rares or mythics, when you open the packs, you actually get gems instead. So It's a nice way to get gems if you already have a collection, which it's impossible now because we're just playing, but it's something to consider on the following sets. This is all based on wildcards. This will be the basic to actually build the decks. You can trade wildcards for cards. So there are 4 categories. So common, rare, and mythic. You can trade for the corresponding card. So we will be opening these packs in order to see if you can get wildcards. Every 6 packs we open, we get a rare wildcard or mythic. From every X packs open, the rare becomes a mythic. So it will flop, and then we will also get a non-common for every 6, which is nice. We can also get them inside the packs, which is a nice bonus as well. If we had 4 of each, for instance, of these rares, we would be getting gems instead, but not the case. So we will just open every single pack and see what we get. We will be getting a couple wildcards that might be helpful. So this is mostly for the wildcards, although getting some of the rares and mythics that we can play in standard can help create a deck from time to time that we might need to complete quests or do an event or something like that. So, but for now, we will just be focusing on the wildcards in order to build the deck afterwards, if we need it, of course. Like I said, in limited, we don't actually need to build decks. The cards are given to us, so we don't have to trade wildcards for it. The lands are also nice to have because they can help in several decks. Usually you only get 1 or 2 of them, of those rare dual lands, and you might get some double, nice. Even triple if you consider the uncommon. So as you can see, we are getting some wildcards, which is helpful. The rares itself are not that useful. Usually you get 1 rare for each pack, but you can also have the bonus sheet that gives extra. So in this case, it is the blind obedience. So we open 3 packs and get an extra rare. In limited, when we open a pack, you can also get 3 or 4 rares a pack. Not 4. 4 is rare, but at least 2-3 rares a pack. It's rares, mythics. It's doable and happens quite a bit. So that's help, even if it's not the bonus sheet card. But here, when you open the packs, there's only 1 rare per pack, and unless there's a bonus sheet rare in the middle. And yeah, so far, pretty nice amount of wildcards. So it is helpful. Usually a deck consists of 60 cards. In limited, it consists on 40 cards. And in standard, it's 60 cards, but 23 are lands. So you basically only need 37 playables. Bahamut, it's nice in paper. Works quite a bit. But yeah, so you actually only need 37 playables, so 37 wildcards in theory. So we get 20 commons, 23 uncommons, 11 rares, and 5 mythics. Not ideal for the best deck in the format, but it can create something if we need it. So we will take into consideration. There's also the vault, which will stack up every time you reach 100%. You can open it, and it does grow by opening commons and uncommons that you have repeated. So rares and mythics give gems, and commons and uncommons give vault progress. And the tokens, and here you can see the decks that you have. These were given at the beginning, as you saw. As soon as you finish the tutorial, you get them, which do help. And then we have the profile. We have ranks for the constructed and limited ladder. So these are the types of games that you can play. You can practice with the bot in bot match, but it doesn't count for quests, which does not count, so not that useful. But you can play with friends, and if you play with friends, it does count for the quests, which is quite nice to speed up the process if you have someone to play with. You can fight with, like, if the quest is to play 20 blue spells, you can play roughly blue spells that only cost 1 or draw cards or something like that, and then just spam lands and do spells while the opponent doesn't do much because he's a friend and you can communicate with him. So we can speed up the process quite a bit and do the dailies in that fashion. We will not be doing that here, but it's possible. You can also play with yourself if you forgive me for no pun intended, by playing with a computer and a mobile, for instance, and you can, if you have 2 accounts, you can battle between them, and it also as a friend, of course, and it counts as the quest match. You have several types of gameplay, so Timeless, Pioneer, Historic, Alchemy, Standard. There are decks that can be played, there are decks that cannot be played based on what they give you, because these are old decks, so most of them no longer have cards that can be played in the new formats, at least in the new set in Standard. So you have to take into consideration if you have a deck that has a number, usually is the number of cards that can't be played in that format. If it has the red symbol, it means it cannot be played at all in that format. So something into consideration. So you get 1 card, 1 deck for Brawl, and the other remaining ones for Standard, Historic, Alchemy, and so on. There's Ranked, there's Normal Play, and then there's the Brawl. So plenty of options, plenty of decks to play with. In events, you get the limited, which we will be focusing on. Usually quick drafts if we need to start off, because it's only 5,000 gold or 750 gems, although it doesn't pay out quite as well, because you need 6 wins in order to start profiting, and it only gives us 2 boosters. So we will not be playing that very often, although it's against the bot, so it is easier to get acquainted with the format. Then you have the Champion, which we have 5 tokens given to us. We can also pay gold or gems, but that will defeat the purpose. The point here is to do it free and then stack up on quests, because it's easier to win when you don't have a deck in Champion than in normal formats. And yeah, besides that, we have the Premier and the Sealed, which are a little bit more expensive. So Sealed, you pay 2,000 gems to enter, but it's not that profitable, because first you only win 3 boosters, although for 0 wins you also win the boosters, so it's decent. But only after several wins, 6 wins, you get even, and then with 7 wins you actually get the profit, which is bigger, not bigger because you pay more, but it is a high reward. Then you have the premier draft, which we will mostly focus on. That costs 1.5k gems or 10,000 gold. But after the fourth win, you already start to even up because the 3 packs can be replaced for the 100 gems you spent extra for playing. But after the fifth win, you actually start profiting with more gems than you paid for. 1.6k to be precise, and then the packs also keep growing, which is nice. Yeah, this will be what we focus on. We will start as bronze and then try to go from there. There's also traditional, that's best of 3. Not that better for profiting because you actually need all the wins in order to start profiting. You do get a bit of reward, and we do get play-in points that we for the qualifier, but we will not be diving into that because first is harder. You need to create a deck and a sideboard because it's best of 3, and then you have to have all the wins in order to actually profit. But it is the most relatable to actually gameplay where you play best of 3. There's also the color challenge. Once you finish, you get an extra, let's say, different design for a card you already have, and a couple of commons and uncommons for wild cards, which is nice. It does help. So it's 5, for 5 colors. Was thinking if white was already done, but no, as you can see. So yeah, 5 colors, and you get 10 commons and 5 uncommons, which is decent. There's also a couple of other events which we'll most likely won't be playing that much of, but yeah, plenty of ways. There's also achievements where you can get mostly sleeves, titles, and emotes. You can also have a couple of avatars from time to time. But this will only will be played normally, and then what you get, we get. Doesn't influence at all the gems and the gold. The friends portion, so you can find a friend useful for the quest, as I've said before. Since the quests do work with it. The quests don't work on the bots, but with friends they do count. Not sure if the daily 15 quests work as well, but at least the 500 or 750 gold does work, which might help a bit, which is interesting. So to finish off a bit, we have the profile where we have the ranks, as I said. We have both of them, which end at the end of the month. So every month it resets, not complete reset, like drops two steps back, and then from gold to bronze, for instance, or platinum to silver. So it's a soft reset. It does stack, so the reward in constructed and the reward in limited do add up, which is nice. Mostly what matters is the gold, because at the gold you get 1k gold reward. So with both it's 2k gold reward, so it's the ideal one. Most of that is a little only for the packs, but not that useful for the goal. And also take into consideration that new accounts usually are more I wouldn't like to say easy or maybe an easier time, but it's easier to get to Mythic when you're a new account. I have tried it with the same deck with an old account and a new account, and the new account did get to Mythic, and the old account stayed in Platinum at best. So do take into consideration that if you create an account and you actively go for the ranked ladder, it is easier to climb it. You usually get paired with new players as well, so this help out a bit. They might have fixed it, but it was something to take into consideration if you wanted to climb a new account. Usually makes it easier. Yeah. So here you have the decks, the collection. It raises when you start to complete them. So commons, rares, mythics, and then colors. Once you finish one of each, the bar starts to go orange, and then you complete 4 of each. These are all for the packs that we've opened, so not much. The foundations gets more because of the decks that were given. Alchemy doesn't have normal commons, so but there's not much point in building the collection for alchemy, so just focus on the main sets. So the point was to complete the set and then open the packs to get gems, and then even when you do drafts, if you have the complete set, you get more gems and stack up on gems, which in turn gets you to play more, get more boosters, to get more wild cards, to trade for more cards in the next set, to be able to get more gems once you finish. But yeah, this was the intro to the game. The goal will be, like I said, 10,000 gems, which is roughly $60 worth of not bucks, but euros in this case, worth of gems. We will do this completely free, so no cash whatsoever. So what will you see on this channel, you may ask? You will mostly see drafts with some big analysis and some live games. Golden gem farming strategies, which might help them or just contribute to others a little bit. We will try to be efficient when quest clearing, see the best ways to just finish the quests quickly to rake up that gold. We'll try some constructed and some other formats and deck building tips for people who have like me on this account, low wildcard budget. So we will try to maximize that in order to create good decks that can get us the quests and the daily wins. We'll try to go for honest progress update. So every time I'll play, I will try to post it in order to see where we at, without tricks, without spending. You will see all the gains that the channel, that the account makes. So in order to see the progress, and you will probably see some fails, and by some I mean a lot of fails, and some lucky top decks along the way, which will make it a little bit more interesting, I hope. So if this sounds like your kind of quest, it is an epic quest, hit that subscribe button and stick around. Leave a comment below if you want something to share, or if you have any ideas on how to improve the quest. And let's prove together that we don't need to spend money to enjoy Magic the Gathering and grow in Arena and get the 10k gems without spending any money. This will be day 0. and I will see you in episode 1, where we begin our free-to-play epic quest. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you then.